In this tutorial, you're going to learn how to crochet one of these half hexagons. These hexagons are used to make two sides of the hexagon blanket straight, and I needed 18 half hexagons for my blanket that needed 200 whole hexagons. You may need more or less than this depending on the size of your blanket. If you're looking for the rest of the videos in this series of tutorials, I'll link the playlist at the end of this video and down in the description. Let's get crocheting.
So before we actually start crocheting our half hexagon, I just wanted to show you one finished close-up because we're going to be working this differently to the full-sized hexagons. So we are going to be starting at the centre down here, but we're actually going to be working backwards and forwards in rows to make this half hexagon, turning at the end of each row. That's because we can't work in the round because we're not doing sort of a full hexagon. So yeah, so this is what our end product will look like. Start your half hexagon with a slip knot and then make a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch in the first chain to make a ring. We're going to be crocheting our first row into this chain ring just like we did with the hexagons. Start with a chain of 3. This counts as your first double crochet. Then work 1 double crochet back into that chain ring. Now work a chain of 2 for the corners, then work 2 double crochet back into the chain ring, then 2 chains for another corner. Now work 2 more double crochet back into that chain ring to finish off row 1. So that is what row 1 looks like. This is actually going to be our straight edge where we've cut that hexagon in half along here. So that is going to be our half hexagon here. We're kind of working in a semicircle shape. To start row 2, first chain 3. This counts as your first double crochet stitch. Then turn your work over because we're going to be turning at the end of every row. Now work a double crochet back into that first stitch. So in that stitch there, work 1 double crochet. Then work a double crochet into the next stitch. Then a double crochet into the corner space. Chain 2. Then work a double crochet back into the corner space. Work a double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. So unlike our full hexagons where we skipped the first stitch after a chain space, for our half hexagons there's no need because we're turning at the end of every round. Now work into the corner space, 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. Work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Then into the final stitch, which is the starting chain from the previous row, work 2 double crochets into the top of the starting chain. So in there, we're going to work 2 double crochets. So there is what our half hexagon is looking like. You should have 4 double crochets on each of the 3 sides of your half hexagon. So we're not counting this edge, just on these 3 sides. You should have 4 double crochets. To start row 3, make a chain of 3. This counts as your first double crochet. Then turn your half hexagon over. So we're working this round from the other side. Work a double crochet into that same stitch, so that first stitch. Then work a double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. Then into the corners, we're going to do the same as round 2. So 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. Then a double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the corner space, work 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. Then work a double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. Then finally work 2 double crochets into the top of the starting chain from the previous row. So in there, 1, 2, and that's the end of round 3. You should have 6 double crochet on each of the 3 sides of your half hexagon. To start round 4, make a chain of 3. Turn your half hexagon over just like we've done previously, and then we're going to do basically the same as row 3 but with more stitches. So work a double crochet back into that first stitch, then work a double crochet into each of the next stitches until the corner space, so that should be 5 double crochet, and I'll just speed this up until I get to the corner. In the corner space, work a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, then work a double crochet into each of the stitches on this side of the half hexagon, so that should be 6 double crochet total. Then into the next corner space, work 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, work a double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches, and then again into that final stitch, so the top of the starting chain from the previous row, work 2 double crochets, so in there work 2 double crochets. Then for these hexagons we're going to be leaving a very long tail again, so to fasten off, chain 1, and then I'm going to cut my yarn tail to that approximately 15 inches length, then pull the tail through that chain 1, give it a tug to secure it, and then we will be using this tail to sew our half hexagons into our blanket. That's the next tutorial, so once next week's tutorial is live, I'll pop it on your screen now, where we're going to be sewing all of our hexagons and half hexagons together.